as black people living in Denmark, we have privileges of when you're getting into the public transportation, you're sitting down, you have the privilege of sitting alone. Nobody would come and sit beside you. And for me, that's okay. 100%. I'm like, hey, it's amazing. I have the free seat and all that.
And I also miss just, smiling face and welcoming people and people saying hi. Here when you say hi to some people, they're like, I'm not sure why you're saying hi, but I'll smile and just move,
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. It's your favorite informative YouTuber, Wrst, all the way in Denmark. Today, I'll be asking foreigners what, in their opinion, is the worst part about living in Denmark, and also their worst experiences so far. This episode is a sequel to the best part about living in Denmark. In case you haven't watched that video, kindly go on my channel and watch that before coming to this. Without much ado, let's get started. Hello sis, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jackie Tasha and I come from Kenya, and I've lived here for the last 10 years, in and out, but officially I moved here back in 2018, and that's the time that I've continuously lived here.
Okay.
But since 2013, in and out.
My name is Eric Moobs. I'm from Zambia and I've been living here in Denmark for 7 years now.
My name is Adam. I'm also known as Kokos. I'm a music producer, a DJ, a singer-songwriter, a musician in general. I've lived in Denmark for about 7 years, on and off.
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
My birth name is Suleihu Dawini Adams, but you might as well call me Abu Dhabi Sean John. And I'm from Ghana, West Africa, and I've been in Denmark. I think this is my 6th year, officially.
Okay.
I've been in Denmark for 6 years.
All right.
My name is David Okosun. I'm from Edo State in Nigeria. I live in Denmark, and I've been living in Denmark for more than 30 years. I'm a father, a grandfather. And I'm a professional within data management and project management.
Hi, my name is Maggie from Kenya. I am here now 6 years.
Hi, my name is Vincent Christopher Ibribri. I'm from Delta State, Nigeria.
Having lived here for this number of years, what, in your opinion, is the worst part about living in Denmark?
Wow, it's winter. long months of cold and darkness. It's grey most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's only like now that it's sunny, but up to almost 6 months, it's just very cold and grey. And everyone knows when it's not sunny, then everyone is gloomy. Yes, so it is the weather.
The weather?
Yes, and of course also missing my family back at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not major, but the weather is the worst part.
Okay.
Yeah.
The worst part about living in Denmark is the nature of the jobs, whereby you have to wake up maybe midnight to go for work. That's the worst experience. Where the weather is raining and it's cold at the same time. That's the worst experience ever. If you're working outside, but if you're working inside the building, I think the worst part is how Danish people pretend like they like you, but they don't really like you.
Oh, really?
That's the worst part.
Bro, the first thing is the weather, 100%. And it's just, I'm not just speaking for myself, but a lot of people would complain about the weather. It's an amazing place, to be honest, but the weather is really... I'm sorry for using a curse word on this,
Yeah.
But the weather, and personally I haven't really experienced any that kind of like deep racism and stuff like that. As black people living in Denmark, we have privileges of when you're getting into the public transportation, you're sitting down, you have the privilege of sitting alone. Nobody would come and sit beside you. And for me, that's okay. 100%. I'm like, hey, it's amazing. I have the free seat and all that. Yeah, but apart from the weather, there's just a little stuff that you can just complain about, but that also depends on your personality as a person, what triggers you and what makes you feel like people are looking at you in a different way. And how you you kind of like analyze this thing. It depends on how you analyze everything. Because when people complain about racism, I personally have not experienced that, you know, and I understand when people have complained about that. Like, hey, that can happen to anybody. It just hasn't happened to me yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
The worst part for me would be the impending issue of racism, and it's quite obvious, even though it's very subtle. But it is embedded in the culture, and yes. So I've had a couple encounters, but I'm the type of person that's it would take a lot to actually get me to react. So I never paid attention until someone called my attention. So that's how good I am to ignoring such things. But I've had a couple experiences. So yes, that's
The worst part about living in Denmark is it's been different, because you come to places you can see yourself as different. You know, we are black,
Yeah.
and it's a white man's country, and it's a very bad thing, because you start from -0. For example, if I walk into a bank now, immediately they see me, they have a feeling about me, and it's negative. It's always negative. So I have to prove myself to show that, hey, what you are feeling is actually not true. If it was a Dane, they start from a different level. You come into an office and they say, hello, how can I help you? Because they start from a different level. But as an African, they already have an impression of me. And that impression is not always positive.
Okay.
So that's a bad thing. So I have to work myself up to show them that, hello, I'm this and this and this, and then they will come down.
Yeah.
And first impression always matters. So if you already have a bad first impression about me, it will be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. What, in your opinion, is the worst part about living in Denmark?
Maybe I can just say it's winter. The winter, I can only say it's the winter, because being an African, so we get this climate shock, if I may say. So the winter here in Denmark is really bad. Like, it's even bad for the people, the local people here. So imagine us as foreigners.
Yeah.
So that is the only bad experience about living in Denmark for me.
All right.
For those who don't have a document, the worst part, the immigration system is tough and there's no mercy. So that is one of the worst things for people who don't have a resident here. But I came here through my S. So I'm lucky I didn't go through all that. But it's not easy with the immigration system here.
What has been your worst experience?
Well, my worst experience is, as I said, living in Kenya is very different from living in Denmark, especially because I do not have my family here. I only have my aunt and, of course, my boyfriend. But at the same time, I really miss my family. So the worst part is feeling as if you're just alone. And the fact that we have this routine, you wake up, go to work, or wake up, go to school and come back home. You do not have like a social, social networking thing. It's not like back at home. You come from work, you pass by the bar and have a drink, but here you can't do that. Yeah, so it's more of just being lonely sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also miss just smiling face and welcoming people and people saying hi. Here when you say hi to some people, they're like, I'm not sure why you're saying hi, but I'll smile and just move, So my worst experience is just feeling lonely and missing home and my family, of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
My worst experience, I take long to pay my bill, and I keep receiving these emails from the system about taking me to court because I didn't pay a small bill, even a small little bill. They have to take me to court and they have to charge me triple of the bill. That's my worst experience.
But if you say the bill is so small, why didn't you just pay it out and then you just clear all these issues?
It's because this bill, I thought I paid it, but in their system they bring me information that I didn't pay it. So I have to argue against that if I feel like I paid the bill. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro.
Think about any worst experience. It's just funny experiences, and that is just cycling on a cold winter and falling down from my bicycle and getting into a trench because I was obviously drunk in one way or another. But other than that, one thing that has pissed me off was I got a ticket at some point getting on a bus, and that bus, the check-in counters were not working, and it was a full bus, and I had got in from the back door, and so you cannot even go anywhere. But then it happened that the front check-in service, it lit up, and it was working. And then the controllers came in, and I'm trying to explain to them, like, hey, everything was not working. Everybody here has not checked in. Like, hey, you're the only one who's been sitting down. Everybody went all the way in the front. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to maneuver all these people? And go there? So that was one thing that for me, I felt kind of like it got me a little bit pissed off and upset. Okay. It was not my fault at all. It was the bus, and it was an old bus. It's not the same route. I don't think I have so much complaints about living here. As long as you have everything on your side. I mean, you've got the papers, you're working, you're paying your own taxes. There's not so much to complain. If you're complaining, go back home.
That's it.
That's how it is, you know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time.
Worst experience. I mean, I would, like I said, that's the issue with I had a racist encounter with someone in the train, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What actually happened?
I wouldn't actually want to go into details, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It was just an encounter that you could say, okay, this person is reacting this way to me because of the color of my skin, and without provoking or anything, it's just someone just being themselves. But of course, when you find yourself in such situations, your reactions actually shows exactly who you are. So my reaction is just to ignore and continue until you get tired, you know, and then give you your space to react. Because a lot of these things, I think, stem from a deep root, and that is the problem with a lot of people. They have issues from their infancy and from childhood and stuff, and so they carry them out in different ways to ease tension. But the way you react to them is what helps the situation, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, someone who always quickly thinks, okay, why is he reacting this way? And I think deep too. I don't really react. I try to understand you and then ignore if necessary. So yes, so that would be, I had an encounter. And also, yes, I had an experience of my early days in Denmark where I got lost in somewhere in town after a nice studio session. And then my phone died on me, so I couldn't follow my Google map. I couldn't follow. I mean, it was crazy, and it was raining, cold. Yeah, that experience I'll never forget. You know?
Okay.
My worst experience about living in Denmark is something personal. It could happen to me any other place. I lost a loved one, a child, many years ago.
Wow,
but,
sorry.
Thank you. But another thing that is very bad about this country, I will tell you that, is gut feeling. Because sometimes when you come to an office or somewhere, anywhere, they need your documents, and you have all these documents. It's actually it happens very often that the case officer uses gut feeling. That is a very bad thing. You know, you have all the papers, you have everything, but then the person fails. I don't trust you. That's not good.
Yeah.
My worst experience living in Denmark is with the immigration. It is so difficult when you're doing either it is family reunification or it's document-wise. The immigration, and should I say also Siri, it is so difficult. Like, they make it so hard. Even if Denmark is a good country, I want to live here, but before they allow me to live here, is just one hell of an experience with the immigration and the city and everything.
My worst experience, I can say, like, no place like home. Despite all the good things they have in this country, I still miss home because of the weather, and people are not that friendly because they don't just trust people like that, especially when you are immigrant. So those are some of the challenges here. And the system, the language is difficult. to learn the language before you can actually start to get some benefit in the system. You need to learn the language. That is another difficulty. Those are some of the challenges I went through, but all is given.
Thanks for spending time with me, guys. If you find my content informative, kindly give me the thumbs up and drop your comments, suggestions, etc. below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.